Hey guys, welcome back. Terry from Smooth Workshop here. Yes, the RZ250 build. I started this a long time ago. Lots of things happened and moved from one house to another, set up another man cave and all that sort of thing. Yeah, we got up to build series number 11. I would have been finished this a long time ago, but I lost my mojo with it because I had decided at the time the front forks, when I'd stripped all the chrome off, I went with the Tamiya instructions. This was a bike I started when I was fairly new back to the hobby, and I wanted to do a really good job of it. So I thought I would revisit it. And if you watched build video number 11, you would have seen I had used various products on the forks. Originally, they told you to do them Tamiya X11. I didn't like it, so I stripped it down and I tried Extreme Metals, which goes great in an airbrush, but reactivated when you brushed it, so it mucked up. So I stripped it again, and then I tried Mr. Colour Super Metallics on it, which is a lacquer-based paint, and again, went on fine the first coat, but when it needed a second coat, reactivated it. It was a mess. So I eventually ended up going with Molotov Chrome. Sprayed it through the airbrush. If I knew what I knew now, I'm not restripping it again. I wouldn't have bothered even retouching it, because I think the forks are looking in a bit of a sorry state. I would have probably went for the metalising powders. Anyway, lesson learned. So a bit of faffing about in kerfuffle, I stripped them back. I finally got them back to a stage where I can reassemble them. Now you might notice the little brass pin on there. Now I'm just going to adjust my light actually, because all my mic and everything's up there. Adjust my light so that you can see better. There's a little bit of copper wire in there. Yeah, the little tab, it's on there. Don't know if you can make it out. I'll put this down, hold my hand behind it. The little tab that's behind there broke off, so I drilled it and pinned it. So the stage I'm at, yes, I'm going to carry on with it, so Spidey Q8 will be kind of chuffed. So where we left off, I was redoing the fork, so I've done that. At the same time, I also redressed the disc and gave it some of a dose of those metalising powders, so that's ready just to go back into the wheel like so. Okay, so that's all done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to build the forks up, because you don't need to watch me building the forks up twice. Build the forks back up. I did have some breakages and problems and all that. I was actually going to bin it and just buy another kit, because this has been re-released, but I think I've managed to recover it. And although it's not going to be as good as what I hoped it would be, hopefully I can recover it well enough. And also, the last time you were here, I'd sprayed all these panels, and what I'll be doing is I'll be giving them a quick going over with micro mesh just to take any blemishes off, and I will get the decaling done if I can find them. Managed to find everything else, I'll find the decals. So I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to build these forks back up and put them back in the bike, because you've already watched me doing that. The only difference is I've finally managed to get, after all that effort and faffing about, a sort of decent chrome on the forks. So I'm going to build them up. Instead of using PVA this time to put the headlights in, there's a new glue that I've been using. It's GS Hypo Cement. Jewelers use it. It's a bit better than PVA. It goes off quicker and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to go off camera, as I said, keep saying it, and rebuild the front forks and get them onto the bike. And when you come back, we will be micro meshing just briefly the body panels. We're on to build video number 12 now, so that's 10 and 2, yeah, 12. Do I pad this out and make it a long one and actually finish the bike, so we finish in 12, or do I go into 13? We'll see how we go, because it's going to be decals. The reason I'm doing this is I've got a Volkswagen Bug that I'm doing as well that needs a clear coat, and I'm going to clear coat over the decals on this with another new product, Mr. Colour GX100. It's a lacquer. I've also got to do my Beetle with that, so I'm thinking if I can get the forks built back up on the bike, get this micro mesh and get the decals on today, if I can get the clear coat on, excellent, because after that it's pretty much just building up all these little parts. So we shall see how we go. So I'm going to go off camera and get the fork snap back in the bike, and when you come back, hopefully they're on, and I'm micro meshing my tank in that. So see you in a bit. Welcome back. Oh, it's starting to look like a bike again. Right, couple of wee things, apart from exhaust fell off. Right, managed to get it all on. It's not looking as good as what I'd hoped, but it's, you know, it's getting there. I used the GS Hypo to fix the headlight and Tamiya extra thin. I've got a couple of wee bits of touch up to do, which I'll do with the semi-gloss black. And I've got my cable routed in under the tank up behind here, up with the rest of the bunch of the cables, so that they'll be tucked down behind the tank when the tank goes in. Couple of points to note now. I mentioned that I'd put a little piece of copper wire in there. It shows you in the instructions. Now, I don't know if I've broken this off at some point, but it shows you the speedo cable comes down for the speedo, down through the forks. Normally there would be a little rotating part on the wheel, which there isn't, with a little spigot coming out of it. Now, either I've broken something off, but it's not really very clear. It's showing a little nub coming out the bottom of the fork leg. Now, I don't know whether I've knocked it off or whatever, but that wasn't present on my model. So all I've done is I have drilled with a wee 0.5mm drill in the bottom there and put a little copper piece of 0.5 wire in, super glued it in, so when I run the cable it's got something to attach to. So that's kind of back to where it was before I started ripping everything apart. So that's fine. Next bit of prep, I'm not going to show you this all, but I'll just tilt my camera down a little bit if I can. Right, so I've just got a little tray of warm water with a little bit of dish soap in it, and I've got this cloth called micro mesh. Now, I've just cut a strip off. Now, this is 12,000 grit. Okay, so all I'm going to do is, these parts have been lying for a while, plus I smoke, which doesn't help. Now, there may be very, very, very small imperfections in here. So I'm just going to gently rub all the panels back. I'm not going to show you all this, but I'm just going to gently rub all the panels back with a micro mesh to give them a really smooth finish before the decals go on. So I'm going to sit and do that off camera, because you don't have to watch it all. I think there's a couple of blemishes on the tank that will need a tiny little bit more work, but with this being 12,000 grit, it's only taking a very fine surface layer off. Now, because I've sprayed this with lacquers, it was Tamiya TS26 Pure White that I decanted from the rattle can. It's very, very hardy, but all this is doing is really taking any tiny little blemishes off. I'll then put the decals on. The tank and everything's pretty straightforward. The side panels are slightly different. Well, you maybe heard ice cream van there. Side panels are slightly different because I'm going to have to lacquer them all to seal the decals in. But there's a little panel inset underneath on the bottom of the side panel. Sorry, it'll be whitening out a bit on this camera. That actually has to go semi-gloss black. So once it's going to be a few stages. So I'm just going to do this in little snippets as I catch up. But yeah, so I'm going to micro mesh all these parts back, get them ready for decals. When we come back, we'll do the decals, and then that'll be it until I'll give the decals a day to dry, and then I'll hit them with the clear coat, and then I'll give that a good day or so to dry before I mask off and spray that bit, and then it's basically sticking the bike together. So we're in the finishing stages, and I just thought I would film this as I go along. But yeah, micro mesh, it's very, 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 very fine, 12,000 grit, so the higher the number, the finer it is. And just to take any tiny wee blemishes off, so I've got the best quality finish on my paint that I can get. So I'm not going to show you me micro meshing all the tank and everything, but I mean, it's just trying to see if I can see any of this. There's one or two tiny wee blemishes on there, and a couple on there, and there's a lot of dust and crap and stuff on there. So the micro mesh will flatten all that back and get it lovely and smooth for my decals to go on. And the only other bit of painting on the tank after that, after the clear coat, is obviously I'll have to do this in an aluminium colour for the fuel tap. Yeah, pretty much final stages. So yeah, the only bit that's not getting any decals on this one, 350 gets some, but the 250 doesn't, is the front mudguard. So that'll just be getting micro mesh back, and that'll be ready for the lacquer. So that's where I'm going with this, and the sun's coming out and it's starting to flicker. So that's me for now, and we'll see you when I get on to the next bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Right, all my stuff has been micro meshed and washed off. It's just air drying. What what I have noticed about my decals, and I didn't notice this before now, although this is an older kit, they are cartograph. So I thought they were Tamiya, but they're cartograph. Ones I'm going to be using on this, because it's a white one, are the blue with the red Yamaha. The gold ones are for the black tank one. And I also noticed, that I never noticed before, they've got the RZ250 as well, which is a UK spec. Only issue on this bike is, if I put the RZ250 badges on it, the mirrors are rectangular. And everybody knows that UK spec RDs had round mirrors. But a lot of RDs didn't actually have mirrors on, because you were going that fast you didn't need mirrors. So you get round mirrors with a 350 kit, but I'm not buying a 350 kit just for round mirrors. So I'm debating whether to put that on. So I'm not going to show you how to do all the decals, because I do have an instructional video on my channel. It shows you how to apply decals using microset microsol. So I'm just going to show you just quickly me putting the decal on, and then I'll do the rest off camera. I've got a nice little tub of lukewarm water here. Now it's telling me up on my, you can't quite see it because I'll need to move the camera, but I'm looking for decal number 19, which is the little line that goes on here. So 19 is this one. So I'm actually just going to cut all the way up here. I use Tamiya decal scissors because I quite like them. Some people do it with a craft knife. But I'm really chuffed that these are cartographs. I did not think they would be cartographs, because I bought mine as a vintage kit before they were re-released. So there you go. So I'm not going to need anything off of that one apart from, oh, get it on camera, Terry, the tank one and the RZ250, and that looks like one for the frame or something like that. I'll need to have a look and see where that one goes. The one I'm after is number 19. So yeah, try and keep it on camera. It's quite hard because the camera's right in front of me, and trying to do this on camera can be a bit of fun, so you guys see what I'm actually doing. So that's the one that I want. Okay, I'm just going to take this little 19 off because I don't want a little red 19 floating about in my water. That would just be a pain in the backside. Oh, and I've just pinged the part off. Right, so bear with me while these helping hands are great, but I've just, carpet monster just tried to eat my part, and I think I've caught it with my legs. I've caught it in my pyjamas. Right, so I'm just using that little knob on there that I use for spraying it, and in the crocodile clip on my helping hands to try and hold it whilst I put the decal on. So here's my decal. So I'm just going to lay that in the warm water for just a little minute. It's curling up a bit there, I'm not worrying about that. What I tend to do is I let it sit just for a little minute, and then I pull it back out and sit it on some paper. I don't want it over wet, I just want it to come away from the backing paper. Now, because I've worked with cartograph before, a lot of people put setting that down first. I don't, I just use water. I'll get myself a cotton bud as well, because I might need that. I just use water. These cartographs are really so fine that if you put set in, they get too soft and they start breaking and stuff. So hopefully this is all on camera and you manage to see it. I'll try moving in a bit, but it might make it a bit awkward for me to work with my hands. So I'm just, because this is really fine, I'm just gently touching it to see if it's started moving yet. And it hasn't, so I'll give it a little bit longer. Yeah, so as I say, I've got a full how-to do decals and everything like that. But I thought, because this is the build, I might show you maybe just putting a couple on, and then when we come back, you'll see all the decals on the bike. Then I will have to leave it a day because I'm going to be putting lacquers over the top, so I want to give the decals a chance. These are going to be a bit fiddly, I think, when I'm being so thin. Not getting any movement yet. a bit fiddly with them being so thin. I'm just going to put them back in the water for a wee second. Yeah, so I tend not to go in with set until, these are all pretty flat panels. I'll probably need to use it more on the tank and that to get it to conform. The set, or the blue one, a lot of people number 1 and number 2, is almost like a vinegar base. It softens the decal and helps it stick. The sol is a solvent. It's pretty much IPA actually. And that's what actually starts shrinking it and making it conform. But this is a relatively nice flat panel, so I shouldn't have too much bother with this when I actually start putting it on. Have we got movement yet? Have we got movement? Always worry when you've got these long, thin decals as well, because they break quite easily. Trying to see if we can get them to move. Off, it's starting to move. And is it moving this way? Thin ones are always the most pain. We are getting some movement now. So what I'm just going to do is, just with a damp cotton bud, see if I can get this to gently move off the paper. Some of it's moving. Without tearing it, without turning it upside down, to get it to go onto the piece. Ooh, scary stuff this. Really quite delicate. Oh, you will comply. Yep, you will comply. Right, that's on. Right, a little bit of water with my cotton bud. Wet this up a bit, because I want this to move about now. And it'll probably be a pain in the bottom. Why did I pick a thin one to show you? I'm going to get my set brush and just get a load of water on there. Water helps it move about. Without flicking it over. Now, I know Colin likes to use a Stanley blade when he's doing this, but I tend to find that on stuff as delicate as this, could be asking for trouble. So just keeping water on it and manipulate it into place. You will comply. Now, going by the picture, it just kind of sits in for the edge a wee bit all the way along. So I'm just trying to get it to go where I want it now. Is that in about the right place? I don't know if you're seeing this on the video. It's probably whitening out a bit as well, with it being a white decal. That's kind of looking quite good actually. So now I'm going to take my cotton bud and I'm just going to gently roll it out, see if we can get it a bit straighter. So I can see the tank one's been as much fun as this as well. Try and get the decal in a straight line. Not the easiest of things. And trying to get the water out at the same time. But I'm just teasing it there. Hopefully it's not whitening out too much. I don't think that's quite 100% straight. It's a wee bit down there. See if I can straighten it up a bit and then hold this end and pull along with the cotton bud. It should straighten it out. I don't think that's too far out actually. Okay, so that's that one on. That's good enough for me. I don't think that's going to need any set on it. I'm just going to go straight on with sol. That's just going to help it conform to the surface, although it's a pretty straight surface. So I'm just putting a tiny little bit of sol on there. The decal may crinkle up. So the only other one I've got to put on there, while that sol's working on there, is I'm going to go for the RZ250. Let's see if I can snip that out from this one here. We would put it right in the middle, which is kind of handy. Again, you can cut these out with your craft knife. Just watching that I don't knacker it up. Yeah, so I'd rather have RZ250 because that's what I rode in my youth. RZ is the Japanese one. The only thing that concerns me is I don't have round mirrors. Could I scratch build them? Not to look good enough, I don't think. And I've just realised I'm off camera with that, but yeah, it's just a little RZ250. Now the good thing is I've got to try and get that level and parallel like that, so that the RD goes on level as well. Alright, so I'll put that in the water. Yeah, so just trying to think, will this video run on to another one? Not sure. As I say, I don't need to show you all the decaling. I've been trying to keep my videos a bit shorter, about 20 minutes, so you guys don't zone out while you're watching them. But then there's a fine line between people who say, right, I want you to show me doing this bit when I've covered it already. So yeah, that one's on, and it's looking nice. Again, you might not see it because of it's just a little blue line. Take this one out of the water. I'll sit it down for a minute. I'm just having a look to see what it is. It's kind of level with that bit, as in the 0 is level with that line there. I'll probably get it different on both sides, knowing me. And the only thing left to do after I've done this is clear coat it. And the clear coat will seal in the decal, give it a nice shine, but then this part of the panel's got to be a semi-gloss black. I may paint it yet by brush. I don't know, I haven't decided. I didn't really want brush marks in it. So I'd have to clear coat it, give it a good day or two to go off before I start masking lines. Then you're worrying about overspray and stuff like that. I may just detail that in with a brush. I haven't quite decided. I'm quite good at painting with Tamiya paints. Yeah. We back in the water again. Yeah, so I hope you found this series informative. I've kind of jumped about because when I first started the series, I was with my girlfriend in Grangemouth, and I was just starting back up. And I was kind of new to the video editing and stuff. And then it didn't work out. I had to move back here. So I had to set up my cave here. And just because of the problems with my forks and me finding new products and that, I kind of put this on the back burner. So, I mean, I understand a lot of people who've watched this for the beginning are going, when are you actually going to finish that bike, Terry? So, right, it's coming away for the decal paper. So I'm just going to get an edge of this off and just grab it with the tweezers, like so. Okay, and I'm going to hopefully get it in the right place. So I'm wanting it roughly level with there and roughly about there. Is that correct or not? Now I will use a little bit of sol on this one. Sep, sorry. Just a little bit. so that I can, let me see, is that level, is that in the right place? I kind of want it in the middle of there. That's not looking bad actually. Could maybe go up a wee touch. See, that's this all got it now. The set, sorry. Let's let me move it about. So I'm thinking, is that squint? Is that okay? No. The more you mess with it, the more it goes out of line. It's always a bit of a fiddle. I might use Colin's tactic on this one actually, because it looks quite easy to move. This might scare some people, and I'm just looking for it. Colin has a tendency to use his craft knife, okay, because you can just grip the edge of the decal and move it where you want it to be. So I want it almost in line with there. Hopefully you're seeing this, or have I got it at the wrong angle? I want it to be straight, and almost, if that's straight like that, then this needs to come up a little bit. Very fiddly. Down a bit, down a bit, down a bit. Right. That's looking not bad for me. It should also be kind of parallel with the top of that. Or should it be parallel with that bit? There's my wee rule. I've got a wee rule there. Right. Oh, that's near enough. That's near enough for me. Yeah, so I'm going to go through the process this evening of putting these on. So this will be shot over a few days. So that's that sitting on there. I put white tack on the bottom of my bottles of set and sol so that I don't knock them over. But some of the guys have made Smoot Industries approved things for doing it. So just a little bit of sol on the top of there. I'm going to call that one done. Okay, and I'm going to lay that off to one side to dry. So what we have there is one RZ250 panel decaled up. So yeah, what I'm actually going to do is I shall go off and finish the rest of the decals. I've decided there will be another video, because this is 20 minutes and there's 5 minutes before this and 5 minutes before that. Yes, it'll be number 13, unlucky for some. We'll come back, that should all be done, and it'll be like, that's all the decal undone, and then I'll go to the next one where I've glossed it. I was in two minds on whether to make this a slightly longer one than the final one, because some people are superstitious about 13. I'm waffling. Right, so I've got the rest of those to go and do. So I'll do that this evening, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to carry it on or, yeah. Waffling, Terry, waffling. See you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Right, okay. Guess what? Things didn't quite go to plan. Terry need decals, eh? Now, although these decals are cartograph, right? This isn't a new release kit. This is like an old original kit. And either I'm just really rubbish at putting decals on, which probably could be part of the blame. But the decals were kind of breaking up, and that when I was trying to apply them and stuff. So I got them on the side panels okay. Oh, sorry, knocked the camera. Side panel ones went on all right, or reasonably okay. A tailpiece one, this blue line here is supposed to carry on up over the back to there. As soon as I put sol on it, it crinkled up and shriveled away. It's almost like you'd set fire to it, just went. So I thought, right, okay, I can live with, so I just cut that bit out and just put the Yamaha on and thought, well, actually, I can live with that, not having the blue stripe there. You know, I mean, it's, yeah. Right, okay. Okay, so then I moved on from that onto the petrol tank. Now, I've got an image that I'm just going to flash up. Okay, it did go on, but no matter how hard I tried, what sort of manipulation that I ended up with little crease lines. Back to me. And I don't know if I could have covered that up with layers of gloss. So you'll notice the tank has been stripped back. Interesting thing I did learn is to remove a decal, all you need is sellotape. I'm not going to do it on these, but you pull out the sellotape and you put it across the decal and you rip it off like your missus or whatever, your partner, when they're waxing their legs or whatever. Yeah, so for taking decals off, providing you've not lacquered over them, sellotape's the best thing, guys. That was a tip given to me by John Bennett. Because I says, well, will I soak them in set and then try and peel them off? He says, no, mate. He says, just sellotape, rub it on really hard, because it's a lacquer coat, and just rip it off. So, yeah, so I'm in a problem now, I'm in a, because I've not got decals for that. Well, you see, my friend John that told me how to remove them has built a 350, and he's done the black one. Now, the 350 comes with the correct UK style decals, which are quite different from these. They're more, you'll see them when they arrive. So he doesn't need the blue ones. So he's kindly offered to send me them up. So I will be putting UK spec decals on it. I'll need to keep the 250 because that doesn't come with the 350, and remove this stripe with the sellotape. Take all that off with the sellotape and redo the decals. So I'm stuck again, guys. Sorry about that. Trials and tribulations. This build will get finished eventually. But yeah, I don't know why I just seem to fail at decals. And it's always, I'll get a model built, painted, looking lovely, get to the decal stage and something goes wrong. So I'm just hoping it's because these were really old. So apologies about that. We are going to run into another build, but just in case some of you guys are superstitious or whatever, the next build video won't be number 13. We'll call it 12.5 or 12.9, and then if I need to go into another one after that, it'll be number 14. I don't really want to have build video number 13s up on my thing. So unfortunately, I didn't get as far as I'd hoped to get, but at least you know that I'm back onto the build again. So yeah, unfortunately, decals. But yeah, so not really much more progress to show you rather than what I did with the forks. So apologies about that, guys. Hopefully when I come back with the other set of decals, I'll not film them going on. I'll actually get them on and get them glossed. And then show you the rest of the bike starting to go back together. So we will get some progress on this. So yeah, it's me, Terry from Smooth's Workshop, on the longest ever running video series over the longest time of a simple motorcycle build that there has ever been on the YouTubes, probably. Signing out. Till the next time, and as always, enjoy what you're doing, and most of all, happy modelling, guys. See you later.